Well, greetings and thanks for joining us this week. We're glad you're with us. I'm excited to spend time with you. Welcome to week 13 of the weekly financial roundtable. We took last week off because it was a short week, which I think we all needed the extra day. Actually week 13, correction there. Now, money isn't the most important thing in life, but it is like oxygen and the gotta have it scale. So certainly this is a time to create community and create discussion around financial and other related opportunities for this precious part of the ecosystem, and that is schools. Sometimes the money piece can be quite daunting, but these weekly sessions hopefully allow you to have a sense of community and get great ideas to address the financial related issues and opportunities that happen today and into the future. Obviously, schools are a big part of the ecosystem, and this roundtable is modeled after a very successful roundtable we've been doing. We've done 58 sessions for salons and spa owners, and then this particular roundtable continues to build momentum every week. So thanks for joining us. Here's my quote for the day. Always believe something wonderful is about to happen. I hope something wonderful happens for you during this session today and you get some great takeaway out of it. I'm excited for our guests. They'll get to join us in a few minutes here. It's Jen and Matt Martinelli, and they have a great story to share. It's a story of entrepreneurship, and they'll also address certain needs that relate to human capital, placement, et cetera. So I'm very excited to have them as guests. Our last session, let me see someone raise their hand. I want to make sure that I'm not missing something here. And let me see who from my team is on. Oh, here we go, chat. Accident. Okay, got it. Thank you for that message. Our last session was with Carrie Perkins from our team. She's a lead Qnity in Action coach and director of our trainers, and we shared just certain practices as it relate to getting focused, especially as we moved into and are in September, which many call the second new year. It's a time for fresh starts and creating new initiatives as we bring ourselves into the final months of the year. We shared a model that we call the 3 C's: closure, clarity, and confidence, which together create just an amazing sense of focus. Closure makes space for what's next. Clarity helps you get clear of distractions in what we call the age of too much information, too many choices, and too much to do. And then also confidence, which actually is a byproduct of getting clear and getting closure. We also had a CPA join us, the tax tiger, who spent time talking about the employee retention credit, very timely information. So that was great to have Chris. We hope you'll get some light bulb moments this week. I know many of you had great comments about our session 2 weeks ago. A shout out to our sponsors. Of course, our company Qnity here is the lead sponsor and really the curator of this program. And Qnity really exists to help individuals in the professional beauty industry and beyond not only make great money, but do what they love and have just an amazing quality of life. There's a lot of complexity out there. It's very easy to get confused and overwhelmed by financial related matters. And what we hope to do is help provide a clearer path to prosperity for you as a school leader. The old rules were complicated, text heavy, and theoretical. Our model is very much built upon simple, visual, and actionable education and tools. We love our partnership with Pivot Point. We are now very much in full force with our Monday course that we're doing in partnership with Pivot Point. We were in Chicago over the last 3 days, and we had a wonderful team dinner with the amazing team at Pivot Point that was part of really a full year project, hardworking, smart professionals that we worked with by Zoom. We actually got to spend time with them face to face, and it was a blast to see creative teams coming together like that. We're so proud of this course, but what we're most proud of is the opportunity to make a big impact on people's lives, and hopefully we can collaborate on that together. It's financial success training, and it really addresses some big needs out there Most students are not prepared, and most parents don't really know how to prepare their students. There's just this massive gap in financial literacy training for students. So we hope you'll become a money school. The website is Qnity. Let me back up. It's qnityforschools.com. If you have an interest or you want to do a demo, you can put something in the chat. You can reach out to Aaron. Aaron will put something in the chat right now. So we'd love to book a demo with you. Also, shout out to Lightheart Sanders, CPAs, Jarrett. Jarrett's been doing a benchmarking project. Jarrett, if you're with us today or one of your partners, put something in the chat if that's still active. It's insights and data from multi-school benchmark study. So Jarrett, thank you for your hard work with that, because I know so many school owners that I talk to are looking for timely and relevant benchmarks, and you're helping with that. You should have gotten a 9 grid today. The 9 grid is one of our visual thinking tools. Use it to find your light bulb moments, create a mind map, and so that's that. Quick story for you. End of an era. I think I might have mentioned on the last call, when I was 10, our family inherited a business out in the middle of nowhere, 750 miles from our Chicago home, only open 1 week a year and had no chance of making money. We inherited this business from our grandfather. We did it for 94 years. This was our last year. There's an epic event. We had 30 family members come across the world, across the country, North America, including 9 people from Alaska. And, you know, I've got some ahas about that, because it is a closure. And immediately people start thinking closure, sad, and all that. Certainly there's some sentimental, and I'm a sentimental guy. But, you know, there's some other lessons that come in a business and business transition that I'll throw in. I get to work with a lot of people on their transition plans. And so one particular lesson for that, I'm going to share you a little bit more about shorties, then I'll give you the lesson. So anyway, end of an era. There's the hot dog stand. We actually received, on Saturday, the 4th of September, by an executive proclamation by the governor of the state of Colorado, it was officially Shorty's Hot Dog Stand Day in South Dakota. It was a big presentation and all that. But anyway, as it relates to just different lessons from something like Shorty's, a couple for you. First of all, when it relates to transitions, and schools are, you know, many schools are owned by baby boomers. And in fact, two-thirds of businesses are owned by baby boomers, and many of them will be ripe for transition in upcoming years. And certainly, if you have built a great business, you have a tremendous opportunity to monetize that through a transition to a key employee, a family member, whatever. And you know, if that's something that's on your mind, I mean, it's a really good thing to be thinking about. Occasionally, it makes sense to actually close a business. Now, in our particular case, it wasn't really a business. It was a hobby, you know, and ultimately it just got to the point where, as siblings, we had a consensus that we did this state fair was for fun. It was for family, and it was for friends. And you know what? We're still going to have fun. We're still going to do stuff as a family, and we're still going to maintain these great friends that we built through the years. So anyway, transitions work in a variety of different ways. And I've seen many salons, for example, go from like 3 locations to 2 or 5 to 4, whatever. And there's silver linings that come from that. So at some point, I could share with you more about what I have learned as it relates to succession plan. If that's a topic of interest, let me know. We can cover it in one of these sessions. But the other thing, as it relates to something like Shorty's as a business, is to look at things from a standpoint of a body of work. I had this aha after the weekend out at the fair, and you know, as we closed it and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, you know, a while ago, I did a photographic collection. It was called Shadow Man. It was a way for me, as a person that was maybe a little bit insecure with my creativity. I knew I was a creative guy, but I never had a chance to express it. So I did this body of work that was a photography collection, did a book, and it's a personal expression, if you will. But it was always hanging out there. Oh, I should be taking pictures based upon this theme. And ultimately I said, you know what? I'm kind of done with this theme. It was a great project, and it's complete. And I had this amazing sense of peace of mind when I did that. I no longer felt like, oh, geez, I got to take pictures, that really fit that theme. It's sort of the same thing as it related to this example I'm sharing with you. Now we're able to look back on this body of work, this lifetime of sharing this stand, and look at it for the lessons, which if we didn't close it, it would just keep going, and maybe fizzle out. So I'm really proud of it. So those are my words of wisdom, if we can call it that, as it relates to Shorty. So, all right, let's enough of that. Let's keep moving on here. And so we have a brain trust, and our brain trust, we are going to welcome Jen and Matt Martinelli. So without any further ado, let's get you guys, there you are, and you've got your mic on. How are you guys?
Hi, Tom. How are you? So good to be here.
And it's so good to see so many familiar names. I feel like we know so many people on the call. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Aaron.
Well, I've seen you guys for a long time, and I've been very interested in what you're doing, but we've never really met before. Matt, I had a opportunity to meet you live and in Chicago, and we're able to have some eye-to-eye time. I was really struck by your a lot of great qualities, and obviously, Jen, I've got to know you a little bit, and amazing qualities. I'm going to take a different angle than probably any other session that you've had, and you know where I'm going to go with this. Is clearly we're going to talk about placement, human capital, and some of the things that you do in your business. But what really struck me when I was talking to you guys is your entrepreneurial journey. Oh my gosh, I've been working with entrepreneurs for too many decades to even publicly say. But wow, what a story. All right, so you guys worked in a technology company, a Millennium.
Yep.
And you had this passion, you had this business idea. Let's go through the price you paid to actually start this business, including something that I've never really heard before. I'm sure it's happened, but you actually moved out of your own house, started renting your house, and moved into a room with all four of you. So let's allow you guys to tell your entrepreneurial journey, which we've got a lot of entrepreneurs in here, and we always love hearing this kind of stuff.
Yeah. So Matt and I both were in the beauty space, found a huge need of how to humanize future professionals and students and the beauty industry in general from a human capital perspective, and both ended up quitting our jobs, moving across country. We rented out our home. So really minimizing our bills so that we can fully put every dime we had into this business. I left my car behind, got rid of all of the things. We moved from New Jersey to California to live with my mother. And at the time, my mom lived in a smaller home, and Matt and I and the kids had to all share one bedroom. So we all shared one bedroom for about a year and a half, really making huge sacrifices, but all with deep purpose and deep sense of fulfillment. And here we are today, back in our own home and, making good strides every day.
Let me put this into perspective. How old were your kids when you did this?
They were 4. My son was 4, and our daughter Giovanna was 6.
Yeah.
I am now going to describe this of epic proportions, because if we would have done that as a family with my 2 kids and my wife, a room like that, I don't know that there would be any surviving members of our tribe.
There were moments, but it's funny because you talk about this, and I heard you even on the last call talk about perspective. And I think it's so important. You can have the perspective of, and there were times where I'd be like, oh my gosh, here I am in my 30s in one bedroom with my 2 little kids, risking everything. And what if they have nothing? And you can go down that path, or you can have perspective and say, wow, what an incredible opportunity that we have at this moment to show our children what it takes to be an entrepreneur and the sacrifices that you sometimes have to make for pure passion and purpose and, believing in a bigger dream. And so really it all came down to that perspective and really just checking our mindset every now and then.
Yeah, we get to talk to students every single day. It's something that we're very proud of. And, to be able to talk about those life-defining moments, and a lot of that stems, and all your core values that you take on as an adult stem before the age of 13. And And we knew that. And to be able to give that gift to our children at such a young age, but a very moldable, like a really big part of their life, to say like, we're not going to let fear hold us back. We're going to do whatever we can to make sure that we're giving it 110%. And they saw all that. They saw the struggles, they saw the successes. Even at a young age, they were a part of that, and it was really special.
So a yes, no answer for each of you. Matt, any regrets?
0.
No,
Jen?
none.
All right, there you go. So I think I just humanized the two of you to our audience unintentionally. And you've used the word humanize quite a bit. And, you know, in the interest of full disclosure for our audience here, you do have a product and you do have a service. And I'm always very, very careful. And you're not sponsors of this roundtable. This can't be and won't be promotional. And I always am a little bit cautious when I have someone on that has a product to sell. But I think each of you are able to walk that fine line of being able to be here as thought leaders in your space. And oh, by the way, we have this product. So, and I'm going to wager a guess that many of the participants know a lot more about your platform than I do. And I'm sure you have several users and probably lots of fans. So give it to me in a nutshell, okay? For those of us, your business name that you started, it's called Canvas Me. So give it to us in a nutshell and how it really helps schools and students.
Yep. So Canvas Me is a digital resume meets your digital portfolio. And once your students build and hit publish, it then acts as a website. So it's a way to really humanize students and future professionals in a way where they can upload videos, they can add imagery, they can sync their social channels. We sync to Instagram and all the other channels. And then they can publish it and they can share it with the world to be seen. So you don't have to physically get in front of anybody. You can actually just share your link and being seen anywhere in the world. And so from a student perspective, that makes them feel really confident, right? Because the Word doc resume makes them look really green, right? There's like 2 things on there, but the Canvas Me portfolio allows them to capture all of their amazing experiences during school through imagery and video. And by the time they hit publish, they're like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. And they're ready, you know, to hit the ground and get out there and be seen. So really, really powerful.
Yeah. And I think for us too, it allows them to market themselves like never before. So because it's a digital e-portfolio platform, anything on their resume, anything on their portfolio is searchable by business owners, it's searchable by brands. So again, they're leveraging technology in a whole new way to be able to be seen from a career perspective on a national level.
And it empowers the leadership teams to also share the student portfolios, right? And be an advocate.
Yeah, I was going to say, so what's in it for the school?
Yep.
So actually, I think we spoke to the business owners before, but I think we're actually solving more issues for the school world than we are even for the business owner. So for the schools, again, we're seeing it already. They're attracting new enrollment because they're now able to show these amazing portfolios once these kids are leaving school and being able to go into the workforce. So I think from that perspective, but then even being able to track their alumni, being a part of their career perspective is unbelievable. We know there's a lot of issues that's stemming from that. So they can see when people are getting hired, they can leverage their portfolios for NACIS approved documentation. So there's a lot of benefits. They can see how many, what percentage of the portfolio is complete. So they get a dashboard that really tracks all of their students and alumni from a career perspective.
Yeah, we had you on for our other roundtable this morning, which was, salons and spas, owners and managers. And, I was looking at it from that lens and put myself in a perspective of being a salon owner right now, or a spa owner. And, I'm using the word human capital crisis right now. And I don't take the word crisis very lightly, but it seems like everybody I'm talking to is really talking about a major pain point about finding and keeping talent, and like I've never seen and heard before. Certainly there's been a massive gap in what we need. There's a bunch of unfilled jobs, but man, it's just the conversation right now. So when I learned more about what you're doing and your approach, I was like, we've got to have this conversation. So from a salon owner standpoint, looking at that part of the pipeline, what I'm gathering is it's also going to help them pick the right people.
Yes.
And make sure that they don't have turnover. Speak to that a little bit.
Yeah. So the portfolio is humanized in such a way that, at the end of the day, a salon owner is hiring a human, Yes, they know skill set is important, but they know they can teach skill set and grow it. So they need to hire the humans. What we're doing is we're humanizing the students so that when the business owner is browsing the portfolios or the business owner has an opportunity that the student applied to, they can watch those videos and they can say, yes, she is the, based on this video, I feel like she's a cultural fit, and saving a lot of time, and that we're really matching the right people with the right opportunities. Rather, I'll never forget, I'll make this story quick, but I was at a seminar with a very famous Pulp Riot artist, and one of her jobs at a school was a very traditional salon. Now, as we know, Pulp is a very creative color. And so she felt like her wings were clipped at this traditional salon because she couldn't be who she truly wanted to be. And so actually she contemplated exiting the industry, but then luckily found the right salon for her, right? She ended up finding a Pulp salon and ended up being right. So we want to eliminate that misstep. We want to make sure that we're capturing the essence of who this person truly is and does it make sense with that culture. So these salon owners can now browse your students through portfolios rather than Word doc resumes, consume video and say, yes, I love her or him or them, right? I can say, I want to speak to them next week.
Yeah. And we're also seeing more of our members apply to these salon and spa opportunities and barbershop opportunities because they finally feel professional. They feel really good and they feel confident because they're not just trying to upload a Word doc resume that doesn't serve them from a creative perspective. So we're seeing that both sides.
So you're hitting another pain point here, and that is people leaving the industry. I hadn't really thought about that. And I was at the Beauty Changes Lives board meeting yesterday. We had a live board meeting. It was so great. And it was such great ideas, such smart people. And one of the things that came up was, having people finish school, people starting school, not finishing. This obviously is unplugged, unrehearsed. I haven't asked you this question. I don't even know if that's something you're prepared to address, but do you think that you have ideas on how to make sure people get through school, or is it more as they get closer to graduation that you guys come in?
I love that you asked that.
Yeah.
So what we're really passionate about is, yes, we have a tool that's going to help market your students as a professional and share with the world. But what we're really passionate about is the education behind that. So we zoom into schools all the time. We're actually building content that they'll be able to have on demand. But what we really coach on is helping these students really identify what their purpose is and have a level of clarity, because a lot of these students come into this industry and they know that they're passionate about beauty, but they can't quite put their finger on, well, what is it that I'm supposed to do here? What is my purpose? And I went through many years of not having clarity myself. So I completely identify with that, and not understanding what your complete purpose is lends yourself to you're just floating in the wind, right? And so what we really coach on is honing in on that piece of your story that brought you to beauty school, and really doubling down on the fact that this is your true purpose. And with that level of clarity, well, now you can really find those opportunities that make sense for you, right? It's all about mindset.
Yeah, we talk to these students, and the feedback that we get when they realize that they're combining passion with purpose, it's like mind-blowing.
Their lives are changed.
Yeah.
And so I think really it's about the education that we offer them through understanding, a lot of people are like, what's my brand? How do I brand myself on social media, especially the students, right? Well, through this purpose discovery, through understanding, having that clarity, that's your brand, right? And they start to really step out of their comfort zone when they, with this type of education, where then they can really flourish on their portfolio, and then they find those right opportunities.
I'm hearing a lot of alignment with what we do here too, which is one of the exciting things, because building confidence is so important.
Yes.
And what we do and is help build money related confidence, so that money confidence and money clarity, so they can make good decisions and really earn tremendous money and have great quality of life and do what they love. And so I'm starting to connect a little bit more with what you're saying here, from a sense of how this might not only help them find the right job, represent themselves professionally, do it in a way that really fits with their generation. I'm about 3 generations removed. And, it's just, it really connects with me what you're talking about.
Yep. Yeah, they say success is 80% mindset and 20% strategy, right? So we can get them in the right mindset in that stage and get them to that level of clarity and that confidence and that all of it we will see people follow through and understand where they're going. Where does that mean they're going? Not exactly, right, but an idea, direction.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we've built up this platform really quickly, and I think a lot of that has to do with Jen's story. Yes, the platform works, but these students, they identify with her. She grew up with a lot of shame. She grew up with a lot of question marks about who she was, and they identify with her. And I think to be able to see that and see it all come together and see what she's done, it's inspiring for them to see that. And I think they see a lot of her and them. So it's been really, really powerful on that level.
Let's get to that story in just a second here, because I want the opportunity for you to share your story and what you were teaching the salon owners and spa owners earlier today was the importance of humanizing them and their story. Which I've seen this so many different times. I work with an owner, they just have this incredible story of how they started their business and their team has no idea. They've never shared, you know, and that really stuck with me. So Jen, you have a story. Now you're from Portugal.
Yep.
And of course, you know, that warms my heart because that's where my wife and I became engaged, Cabo San Vincent, the most southwest part of Europe. 34 and a half years later. So there's certainly, I have the warmth of that. I had to throw that into everybody, but tell us about your story here, because I think humanizing both of you is also what this is about.
Yeah. I mean, at a high level, I was born into, my parents were both teens when they had me at a really young age. My dad pretty quickly exited, not knowing what to do with a newborn because he was so young. And so I was raised by my immigrant grandparents who were from Portugal. And the minute I could read, write, and talk, I'll never forget as a child, I became my grandmother's instant translator because my grandmother didn't speak a word of English. And there were so many moments of my childhood that I could remember being at the store, being somewhere, and people trying to communicate with my grandmother and her saying, I don't understand. Can you talk to my granddaughter? And this adult would pan down and see this 8, 9, 10, year old, and they would be like, oh, forget it. And so there were so many moments in my life where I created a belief and I created this thought that I didn't have a voice at a really young age. But I also felt like because I grew up in a different family dynamic for most of my life, I felt so different from my friends. They grew up in mom, dad's traditional household, and I grew up in this very non-traditional household. And so I often felt like I didn't belong. So most of my childhood spent, my life was, I felt like I didn't have a voice and I felt like I didn't belong. And so the adult version of me, what I recognized is that I will stop at nothing but to give people a voice and give them a sense of belonging. And that is exactly what Canvas Me does. That's why we were able to risk everything, right? Because it's so deeply rooted in my message of giving people a voice and giving them and helping them find their place of belonging from a career perspective. And so I think it's such a powerful message in that a lot of our trauma, a lot of our story, right, can sometimes be a victim story, but if we transform that story into a story of victory, right, as a result of those moments, I now am a human who will drive at nothing and stop at nothing, but to give people a voice and give them a sense of belonging. And so this is what we help students through. We also help business owners through. And there's probably somebody in the audience that's hearing my story going, wow, there were many times where I felt like I wasn't seen or I wasn't heard, right? And now we've just connected on a really human level. And now we can get down to real, we're not just kind of like, oh, we're these cool people from this business. We're real humans that have real struggle. And a lot of times we connect through that. And so really just being vulnerable, taking off the armor, letting people see you for who you are. I think even just leadership teams at school doing this better will help connect better with students. And so we're so passionate about stripping off the armor and just standing in whole vulnerably you. You'll make better. For the longest time, I was a fake person. I was like the person that you wanted me to be, right? And that's what we mostly tend to do. And so we really want to educate and coach that, let's take off the armor, let's be real with each other, and let's all march towards the same purpose.
So your business is called Canvas Me, and I'll have Aaron put it in the chat. And I like to get behind the people that are behind the business more. And I also want to pull out of you guys, what nuggets do you want to share with school owners and managers? But let's get behind here a little bit, because you talked about these activities being appropriate for school leadership team.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
So when we go through a lot of these exercises, leadership teams will sit on there. And so the power of the purpose discovery, the power of better understanding who we are and what our purpose is that by understanding our own emotions better and how we show up, we understand everyone else's emotions. And so we talk a lot about false beliefs. So for the longest time, I felt like I was annoying. I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like all these things, and therefore my actions, I would be really quiet, right? And so as leaders, if we start to understand these behaviors, we start to understand, this whole concept of, I have these false beliefs or limiting beliefs, because a lot of students come from a fear-based mindset, we can better coach them, right? So a lot of times we have leadership teams sit on this course, because then they start to realize, wow, this behavior of so-and-so being really quiet, or this one being, really confrontational, stems from something deeper. And how can we coach them through this? And so I really believe it's all about the nurture, about the empathy and compassion. And as we all start to see through this exercise, that kind of opens our eyes to like, oh my gosh, this person maybe, hurt people. And how can we help be a better leader? And so that's why we're really passionate about everybody getting this content.
So you're a family business, and your husband and wife.
Yep.
And, so many small businesses are family businesses, and so many schools are family businesses. 2 to 10 Project, for example, this is a group that we lead. I think you're aware of it. And it's salons that have between 2 and 10 locations. We did research, and 92% of these brands were family businesses. So as a family business, I'm throwing you a curveball. We haven't talked about this here. You must coexist, and how do you create separation between work and family, or do you?
It's a good question. I'd like to say that we do, but I don't think we do. And I think it's okay. Where we love what we do. It fulfills us every single day, and we're happy, and our kids see that. And I think if we were to try to purposely, separate things or create balance, that's just not who we are.
I think it's all about awareness.
Yeah.
So Matt's right. This is my purposeful passion with every bit of my soul, right? So it's like very soulful for me. It's very fulfilling. So every second of the day, I'm thinking about what can be better. How can we? And once you start to turn it to who can we help and how can we empower, right? So all day, every day. But at the same time, I have a level of awareness that when I see myself not really dialed in, or I see myself maybe not getting enough sleep, or I see myself like not really, I can't get this, I know when to walk away and shut it off and set the boundaries and say, Matt, you know what? I can't do this right now. So I think it's really just about having that level of awareness and that level of communication between the two people, right? The two of us. Maybe I'm feeling inadequate today. Can't do it, Matt. Sorry. Right. But really being able to be vulnerable and voice that and say that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we're really, really good at identifying strengths and weaknesses for each other. And we really play off that really well. And I think a lot of people feel that when we're with them. So that helps us out tremendously. But I think the happier we are, the more it benefits our kids. And they see that, and they know what Canvas Me is, and they're proud of that. They're 8 and 10 now. And I think it's been really good. So I think Jen's right. It's all about being present when you need to be and having that clarity and awareness. And it just works for us.
So I feel like we could do a deep dive just on a belief that I have, not just about family business, but about business being a combination of dynamic duos. Mm-hmm. Certainly my daughter and business partner, Erin, and I have some really a magical relationship, because we bring very different skills and a very different approach to things that make it much better. I've studied business, and I've seen that there's usually a dynamic duo at the top. It's not just one person. And we'll save that for another day. So I'm supposed to be the money guy here. So I'm Michael, a school owner. And hi, Michael, by the way. I'm just picking you just completely randomly. So, he shows up here. He's a busy guy. Show him the money. How does this help on the money side of a school business?
Yeah, so we believe that these portfolios they do multiple things, right? So they're going to help you attract enrollment, because at the end of the day, you are marketing your school through your students and sharing your student stories and your student successes. Well, Canvas Me will allow you to have a viewpoint of that story through all the videos that your students post on their portfolios. It also tells a story, right? Because now you're tying assignments to, well, when you're completed this assignment, post your photo on your Canvas Me portfolio, right? So you have a journey to share with an enrollment, somebody that's coming in from an enrollment perspective. From a placement perspective, you now really market your students through these portfolios versus the Word doc resume, right? And how do we get our portfolios in front of these business owners all the time? Maybe they're not coming into our schools and we want to have a relationship with them. Well, now you have a link you can share with them, right? Even from a social perspective, you could share them socially. Go ahead.
And then I think lastly too, is you're going to save a ton of time. Our portfolios are NACIS approved documentation. So no longer are the days of having to scour Facebook or social platforms trying to hope that one of your alumni says, hey, I got a job. We're saving that department so much time, effort, money, and energy as well.
Yeah. So I see Michael's asking how it's better than Instagram. So our portfolios, by looking at somebody's Instagram, you don't know, you may know if they're a student. You don't know when they're graduating. You don't know what school, you might not know what school they go to. You don't know if they're in the market to find a new opportunity. So the Canvas Me portfolio talks about, it's very image and video heavy. So there's videos and imagery, but from a hiring standpoint, right? Not from a consumer standpoint. Instagram tends to be really consumer focused. But also we highlight education, graduation date, GPA. We highlight certifications and awards.
KPIs.
Brand preferences, if they have a brand preference, software skills, do they know any kind of software, right? So it's essentially like an online resume meets your online portfolio. So it's, yes, it's very image heavy, but it also has, frequency of visit, right? It has, what else is it? Average ticket. There's an about me section, right? So it's really it's more robust. It syncs with Instagram and it connects with Instagram. But it's more robust from a hiring standpoint, right? And then it also automatically generates a printable resume. So you just have to build a portfolio and it automatically will give you a resume. So you don't have to worry about formatting it.
Yeah, we actually have most of our members will actually put their Canvas Me URL in their link in bio on Instagram because it really shows a much broader prospect of what they're doing from a career perspective.
What their specialties are, right? Like you can put that all in there too.
Yeah, Michael, let us know if that answered your question. And Michael, thank you for the question. Would love to see some more questions if they come along. Yep. To me, I see the three-legged stool coming together between the student to become professional, the school, and the employer. All right.
Yes, exactly.
And we during the weekend in Chicago, which was absolutely amazing to be part of three live events. God, I was just so jazzed being with people, and it's not that I've been in isolation. I've taken several trips and what have you, but the relationship element was just so huge this weekend and getting to spend time with people. And anyway, had several conversations, including with some really smart people about, students finishing school, and then also the synergy between schools and salons.
Yeah.
And perhaps a better opportunity for synergy between schools and salons. So this, to me, thinking out loud, creates that synergy through technology that may be missing.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, I think Michael, a good follow up to that too is actually the schools got these amazing dashboards that can track all of their students, right? And you also get a job showcase. So all the salons in your area that are posting opportunities on Canvas Me, you get alerted right in your job showcase. You can message alumni, you can message students. So again, it goes way beyond that Instagram portal. But yes, you're 100% right, Tom. Like this is a way for these salons to always be in front of these upcoming artists and local licensed professionals at every moment.
Yeah, without physically getting in front of each other. No, yes, the physical getting in front of each other is still absolutely important.
Yep.
But this is that in between time, right? We're all really busy. Salon owners are wearing a lot of hats. Maybe they don't have time to cultivate, or they don't have somebody dedicated to cultivating a relationship with your school, right? Maybe that's the case. And this allows you through technology to still humanize your students because you're watching videos and it's very, very human. But now you can leverage their links and just share out their links and say, hey, you know what, these are the up and coming graduates, or, this is my next class, check them out, click their links. So it's just a really powerful way to stay top of mind, even when you're not physically getting together.
Wow. Very, very cool. And I know Erin has spent time with you. She's gotten to know you, and you've got people from Pivot Point that absolutely sing your praise.
We
we
love,
love Pivot Point.
yes, they're our family. We love them.
Yes.
Well, how could you not love Pivot
Yes.
Point?
I agree.
Valid
All
point.
right. And we love you guys. Yeah, we have a little love fest. Forgive us, everybody. But I certainly know, Matt and Jen, that we have so much synergy between Qnity and what you're doing that no doubt we'll be collaborating. And I think it takes new solutions today. And that's what's exciting is I think we're both bringing some new solutions to the marketplace. And they really are very much what I think the marketplace needs, what the marketplace is ripe for, and some really great solutions. So I could talk to you guys all day, but I'm looking right here. Okay, what's the name of the platform? Oh, someone came on a little bit. Mark, the name of the platform is Canvas Me. You know what? I always tread very, very lightly when someone has something to sell. Okay. Everybody's kind of watching me process out loud. Forgive me, but I am who I am, people. And I do think it makes sense for you just to pull up the platform real quick. If I'm not throwing a big curveball. So, all right. So here's the platform.
So here's Canvas Me. I can browse professional canvases. So these are what students would build. So students would build professional portfolios. This is just a couple, there's hundreds of pages. As a salon owner, they can search by location. I have already a student pulled up here.
So they can search by location, they can search by school, they can search by program.
So again, they can filter into their category of who they're looking for. But the power of the platform is this is a portfolio. To be quick, I'll run through this quickly. This is, student name, location. I can message bookmark. This is the portfolio. This is what it looks like. Very image heavy. This is an about me section. I can watch a video. This is really powerful. And I hate that I can't let you watch the whole video, but I'm just going to play a second.
My name is Samantha Yegley, and I want to.
So you can see from those few seconds how Samantha shows up, how she speaks, what are the words she's using. She actually goes on to tell a story about how she's really passionate about participating in her local shelter, and she does makeup and hair and stuff, and it makes her feel really great. So really understanding her values. How does she show up as a human? Education background, my work. So you can upload as many photos and videos. You can upload videos of your technique, right? Especially during assignments at school. So it makes the student accountable, even when they hit the floor, to ask the guest, hey, do you mind if I capture some of these moments for my portfolio? It gets them into healthy habits of communicating with the guests and really showcasing, highlighting their work. This is our favorite part, especially for students. Why am I here? Preferred brands, specialties, employment history, certifications and awards. This is my favorite part too, because most students are going, oh my gosh, I need certifications and awards. Where can I go to get certified? What should I get certified in? It gets them thinking proactively, right? And then we sync with Instagram. I can actually launch to Instagram here. And then we also sync with TikTok, Facebook, all of it, right? So really, really powerful. Students can share this link, or they can print their resume by just clicking that Save as PDF button. When they click that Save as PDF button, this automatically generates, it's their resume. They file print, done.
Yeah, I could also see in a link there, graduated from the Money by Qnity course, which is now going to which is going to be of value to an employer because they're going to be more prepared. They're going to understand more how they get paid. They're going to understand the benefits of working at employee-based salon compared to solopreneurship, money agreements and all that. So
exactly.
Pardon you and the rest of our participants today, but I'm unapologetically passionate about what we do here too.
Yep. And
I absolutely can see that these are the type of things that would be good for an employer to know what they take in school, what they learn. So yeah,
we can add that as
they can have badges,
a badge or certification,
yep.
And then they can owners can search solely for that badge.
Yes.
So show me all the candidates in my area that have taken that course.
So, and then they can come over to opportunities and we humanize our opportunities. I'll show you this really, really quick. I'm not going to go deep, but you can click in. Students can watch video. We all know this new student, they want to know who they're going to go work for, who are they going to go on that interview with, right? They want to understand the culture. They can do that by watching videos. They can see pictures of the space and they can say, oh, wow, I don't want to work in that big or small of a salon, right? Whatever their perspective is. And then if they want to apply, they're hitting Send My Canvas. So really empowering them to just feel really confident. We see a lot of fear-based students of, am I good enough? I'm not sure if I'm good enough, right? the portfolio empowers them to feel really legit.
Yeah.
And so once they have that portfolio, they feel like they're on top of the world. It looks really beautiful and they share it everywhere.
And then, of course, when your student or alumni get hired and they mark that off on their dashboard, the school will actually get an alert that that person's just been hired.
Right.
So we bring it full circle.
Yeah, my son is a exercise physiologist and currently works as a trainer, a personal trainer. And when he was going through the whole hiring process, I just think of how awkward it is, and how it seems so foreign to him. Whereas something like this, it seems much more turnkey in a much more presentable way. So, all right, let's see. Maybe we got any comments. Yes, Mark, thanks for the comment. Michael, thanks for your comment. What other questions do we have for anybody? What other questions or comments? Let's see what else here. Thanks for the show. Yeah. Well, you guys are awesome. And one of the things I love to do is love to see this next generation of entrepreneurs like you guys and Aaron and a lot of these great people to get to work with. And it's really exciting. I mean, you guys bring a lot of passion and purpose. Passion and purpose really comes through. But the word that you really said the most when you talk about your company is humanize.
Yep.
And I was at a PBA executive summit. It was a couple years ago, and the word human in our vocabulary has started to really escalate, given artificial intelligence and other factors. And humanizing. I mean, I think the beauty industry is the industry of touch. I think it's the most human industry there is. And Aaron and I did a bunch of programs to Merrill Lynch, and it was so exciting to go to Merrill Lynch and talk about the beauty of the beauty professional and talk about a human-centered industry. And so I love that you're really capitalizing on that word humanize. When I say capitalize, I think it doesn't do it justice. To me, it's not about capitalizing for you. It's about that's really who you think you are and who you really are. So, well,
yeah, we are super passionate about giving everyone a voice, a platform, right? Whether you're in North Dakota, New York, or LA, we want to level the playing field. We want to help you have a voice, and that's exactly what it does.
And you're in New Jersey, right? Is that where you're at?
New Jersey, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Aaron's in Philadelphia. Hopefully you guys can see each other soon.
We have talked about it.
Yeah, we just need to set
Yes.
a date. We're gonna get dinner. Yep.
All right. Well, very good. Guys, I will officially award you your second $1 million light bulb for your contribution today. If all of you could please collectively join me in giving them a virtual round of applause. And it doesn't also hurt to give them a little shout out in the chat so they can feel the love. And I know we're going to be doing more work together because our paths align very, very well. So thanks for joining us today. Okay.
We appreciate you.
Tom, one last request. Those great qualities you were talking about me earlier, that you met this week, just make sure you set time and tell Jen those qualities as well. That'll be huge for me. So I appreciate it.
All right. You got it.
Thanks, Tom.
All right. Thanks so much. Let's see what else we got here. I've got just maybe a couple more little things here. Yeah, myths and traps. I mean, I think what Jen and Matt are doing is they're really addressing a lot of the myths and traps that many salon owners are really struggling with as it relates to recruiting. I mean, man, that is the conversation going on right now. I can't find staff, and it is of epic purport. I mean, it's been for a while, but not like this. So I think there's ways to get through this with great technology solutions like this. Last week, every week I want to share a little bit from the program. The money course, budgeting. I just had a session with a bunch of salon owners earlier this week about budgeting. And, budgeting is something that people love or hate, but budgeting is part of our way of life. And everyday budgeting is a topic that's really not taught. and that is budgeting, micro budgeting, budgeting for lunch, budgeting for an event, budgeting for a trip, budgeting for school, you know. So really bringing this kind of education to the students is really exciting. And then also learning what a full budget is, which is basically all your money in and all your money out over some time frame. And we break things down into spending categories, give benchmarks and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of really, really fun content in this particular module, as well as distinguishing between need to haves and nice to have. So anyway, you know, I guess my question to all of you is, what will your money story be? What will your story be as a school, as a leader in a school? Will you be part of really helping this next generation look at pro beauty in a very, very different way, a way that really honors the creativity, honors the touch, honors the impact that's made. It's one of the reasons I love Beauty Changes Lives, because beauty does change lives. Pro beauty changes lives. And many of the negative stories and perceptions that relate to the professional beauty industry center around money, earnings, and all that. And there's a lot of research that is coming out to dispel some of those myths, because we need more really great people to join this industry. And so many of you on this call are doing such a great job making that happen. So anyway, we hope you'll become a money school, qnityforschools.com. You can go there and book a demo. Also, Aaron can put something in the chat to book a demo. Closing thoughts: always believe something wonderful is about to happen. And it was wonderful to get to spend time with these two very entrepreneurial, passionate and purposeful, humanized professionals that are bringing some great energy to solving problems that we all have. So anyway, guys, that is what I have for you today. And let me just see who's on the call. I like to give people shout out here. So who is with us today before we hang up? Alcott, hello. Londa, I haven't met you before, but thank you you raised your hand. I hope that didn't mean I was calling you. Hello, Elise, Amanda, Andre, and Caitlin, and Dawn, and Diane, and Elaney, Jamie, Janet, Jared. Hi, Jared. Jessica, Kevin, Lauren, Lisa, Mark, Michael, Robert, Shonda, and Tari. Hopefully I didn't mispronounce that. So thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you next week. And we much appreciate you taking your precious time to join us today. Bye now.